Sorry about that. Thank you, Scarlett. All right. So, as promised, we are jumping into 90 Day Fiance. I have been watching the show for years. I actually became very addicted to the show back when Danielle and Mohammed were on the show, and I got super involved in chat rooms, and oh my gosh, it was nuts. Trolling back in the day, wild. We knew Mohammed was scamming Danielle. And since then, 90 Day Fiancé has done a pretty good job of consistently showing the scams that are common when in certain areas of the world, particularly within countries in the Middle East and Africa related to immigration fraud and the grooming done by men of overweight women who are easily manipulated, and they meet them in chat rooms, and it's kind of a mess. And so Danielle and Mohammed blew up. The story was gone. They couldn't move on with it. So what do? They bring us Nicole and Azan. So Nicole is a single mother. She's in her early 20s, or maybe mid-20s at this point. I don't know. These two have been on the damn show for so many years. They have never been married, and I don't know why we still follow them, but they're still on the show. Azan is in his, I don't know, he's 27 or so. He's from Morocco, and he can't get a damn visa to come to the United States. I don't know why, you guys. Why wouldn't this couple work out? Does anyone see something here that might look a little odd? Azan is an extremely fit, attractive, young Moroccan man. And Nicole, she's cute, but she's a naive and she's an overweight woman that has been clearly misled by this man and continues to allow to manipulate him. But she's very stuck in this appearance that everything with their relationship is fine, and she's kind of a pathological liar. So that's why I'm going to talk about her today. Now, why would they have problems getting a visa? Because it's known that they would have issues with scams, according to the U.S. Embassy, of Moroccan men specifically targeting women in chat rooms that are overweight, that are easy targets, and they use these women to finding them in chat rooms, talking to them, professing their love, telling them to come visit, telling them to send them money, telling them to get married, drop everything, be my wife, all these amazing promises. And because of that, the U.S. Embassy is very strict, extremely strict, and they've kind of pinpointed and targeted young Moroccan men, and they really don't approve very many visas. With a lot of immigration fraud, I can understand why that would happen, because the U.S. Embassy says that the majority of these marriages fail, and it results in men eventually coming over, divorcing the women, and then bringing over their wives from Morocco, who they previously divorced, in order to make the United States marriage legal. Gross. So, Azan and Nicole have been together for 3.5 years. This past season on, just to give you sort of a rundown, they met, she's got a little girl who's in kindergarten now. They met when her little girl was 2 years old. Azan lives with his parents. He does not have any children. He actually is kind of a grifter and doesn't have a job. Or if he does have work, she's always very vague about what he does. He's fishing, or he's doing something, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that. But really what it's been is that for 3.5 years, Nicole has pretty much been sending this guy money. And he's been living off of her. Throughout the years on their show, they have had 2 weddings become canceled. She has gone to Morocco multiple times, each time come back without being married. She has cheated on him. He has cheated on her. And she has even found voice memos of him like talking to other women and grooming them online, saying the same kind of stuff he says to Nicole. So it's likely that, and of course he denies that, but it's likely that there are multiple women in his life like Nicole that he is using and he is getting money from, because the dude literally doesn't have a job and somehow can live a comfortable life. So he is more than likely part of the romance or Moroccan love romance scams. All you have to do is Google it and you can learn all about how they do it. It's also on the U.S. Embassy, which I explained to you, and it's a huge issue. But Nicole wants everyone to believe that this relationship is real, and Azan always has a million excuses for why they shouldn't get married. The last time it was too expensive, and Nicole was saying she was rushing things. It's a mess. And then not only this, she has a 5-year-old daughter named May, who she has met Azan twice now or 3 times, and she has May call Azan daddy. Yep, daddy. Dude lives like 3,000 or 10,000 miles away. Who even knows how far Morocco is from where she lives? All the way on across the other side of the world. And her little girl calls this man daddy, even though they've never lived together. She spent a couple months in Morocco, but that doesn't constitute your daughter calling a man daddy. Her parents are very adamant that this is terrible. And there has been sort of rumors swirling for a long time that this relationship has been coming to an end. This past season on the Happily Ever After, they actually weren't together. They had no FaceTime. Nearly all the conversations between the two happened by FaceTime or over the phone. We only heard his voice. We never saw, there were not cameras interviewing him, so all of the interviews were of her alone. Before the season aired, or during the beginning of the season, she admitted she hadn't seen him in at least 7 months. And she had sent him this huge chunk of cash. So in a previous season, she and Azan told her mother that they were going to open a store, a beauty store. And of course, in Morocco, and of course, Nicole fronted $6,000 and Azan fronted $500. Sounds legit. Naturally, Nicole's mom was very skeptical of her, and everyone was just waiting for Nicole to admit it. Nicole admitted this year on the show that she never had the store, but she didn't want to tell her mother that, and that she lied to her. And so finally, on this very end of the season, the last episode, she admits to her mom that there was no store. They were going to start the store, but they just, it fell through. And at the same time, she also booked a trip to go see Azan after months and months and months of not seeing each other. And she books the flight and she's like, I'm so excited to go see you. I can't wait to see you. And he's all like, yeah. He sounds like less than enthused. Dude clearly doesn't want to marry her. He just wants her cash, and everyone knows it, but she refuses to show anyone that. So there's been this massive amount of swirling information online. Are they or aren't they? Well, then this little nugget dropped online. It was a screenshot from someone connected to her stepfather, which said her stepdad told a reporter that as soon as she books the trip, I'm missing the part, as soon as she books the flight and she's getting ready to leave, the night before they leave, Azan comes up with a family emergency for reasons why she can't come, and so she has to cancel the trip, okay? So then her stepdad told a reporter that as soon as she stopped being able to give him money, he dropped her. And he said that she was trying to go to Morocco and asked and told her to cancel her flight, do not come, since she had no money to give him. He said Azan stopped taking her calls and everything unless she had money for him. in that the money from the show had went for tickets and trips, and she never got all the money back. So she couldn't afford to give him crap, so he was done. He kept saying he needed time, or stuff had come up for her not to come and wasn't the right time. Finally, before she was about to leave, he told her, do not come. If she has no money, he can't pay for her or May. In that, if she had no money, no need to come at all, which is crazy. She doesn't want the world knowing that she was used and dumped, and it's sad, and she allowed this to happen to herself. She needs to worry about her and May and leave boys alone for a long time. So this was something that her stepfather told reporters, and her family has been pretty skeptical. I mean, everyone that watches this damn show knows that this guy is using her. But she insists that everything is fine. In fact, on Instagram, she acts like they're still together. She's doing Q&As. She talks about how the two of them have plans together. She has denied multiple times on Instagram that they have split up. But there's a lot of signs and a lot of excuses and a lot of sort of things indicating that these two are not together anymore. And I think maybe the first indication is what? Oh, that, they haven't seen each other in a damn near a year. But here is her, sorry, Have you started the process to get him here besides the one that he was rejected? No, I have not. Do you regret applying for the show? I'd like to say I don't regret it because I don't know where we would be now. We're stronger now because of what we've been through. Do you feel like your relationship is misrepresented on the show? From the beginning of our first season, things took a bad turn and just never really showed who we were as a couple. Just the struggles we went through. I guess that's reality TV for you. Hardest part is watching what you do and say because thousands of people are watching at your every move. Number one misconception about the relationship is Azan isn't 55% attracted to me. He's fully attracted to me. Sometimes you just need to add drama. And this is because he's literally told her multiple times that he wants her to lose weight and that when they first met, he was like, oh, I didn't realize you were that big. He really said that. Has your store opened yet? This will be explained in the upcoming season. So she deflected there. How did you guys meet? We met on a not very popular social meeting app. Shocking. And do you still send him money? Honestly, what I do with my money is not for public business, whether I do or not. Meaning, yep, I sure do send him money. Like, think of all the money she's wasting on this man, and she's got this little girl that needs her. And this poor family can't do anything to stop her from sending this guy money, okay? So she is denying that they have split up, even though at the end of the season, the way this drops, she admits there wasn't a store. She won't answer whether or not the $6,000 was actually sent to Azan, but I think we can clearly assume that it was because she's living with her mom and she's trying to save money. And her only source of income really at this point is probably this damn show. And so the only way for her to continue to make money is to perpetuate the fact that this relationship still exists, even though on Instagram, Azan doesn't follow her. Yep. I went onto her Instagram to see, I wonder if they follow each other. She follows him. He doesn't follow her. Not even a little bit. Now, she has this crazy excuse. She says that the reason he doesn't follow her is there's a limit for the amount of Americans Moroccan men can follow. Yeah, right. Sure there is. And she's also lied about how Moroccan men can't send money to America. But then the wire transfers between the two countries, they don't work. And so don't worry about the money. Mm-hmm. Because people have always said, well, why doesn't he send you money? Because she said, because they're not allowed to send us money here. I doubt it. I doubt it, Nicole. So she also does a lot of this stuff on Instagram where she posts these sort of She's very much like this Instagram says, your light, let your light shine on. No one can take the light from inside you. You have the control in your life. You make your happiness. No one else can take that from you. What's that about, Nicole? That sounds almost like you don't have a boyfriend anymore. It's insane. This woman clearly, these two are clearly not together. He doesn't follow her. She's posting all this cryptid crap. And like all of this stuff on Instagram. She's pretending like they're together because she needs this damn paycheck from 90 Day Fiancé. This marriage was never going to happen. He can't get a visa. The only way, and this is true, in Morocco, what the U.S. consulate actually suggests is that if you can't get the visa and your marriage is true, that women from here go over there to get married. And then they might be able to get married. However, it's not always easy for Moroccan marriages to get approved if the woman is not, I believe, Muslim. So there's laws that make marriage between a man and a woman in Morocco difficult for foreigners related to religion. So, but if they can actually go through with it, they would be able to come over because America does recognize marriages that take place in Morocco. Except every time she's gone there and they've gone to plan the wedding and they get started, he always finds a reason for them not to get married. Every damn time. And she brings her freaking daughter with. Every time. And now it's like she just wants everyone to believe. I think at this point, it's like all about her saving face. Like, she doesn't want to admit that she's been lied to. She doesn't want to admit that she's been scammed. She doesn't want to admit that this wasn't going to ever happen. She wants everyone to believe that he was attracted to her. She wants everyone to believe that this relationship was real. But come on, what Moroccan man is going to be interested in a woman who's a single mother, who is overweight, has no job prospects, and has no money? That's been the other issue. She doesn't even have enough money to sponsor him to come to the United States, which is a ton of money to get all of the paperwork done. And it requires a 10-year financial commitment by the sponsor in order to sign off to get the visa, which is another reason why they can't, because she's broke. She's broke. So you're going to tell me that this man is not just kind of probably taking her for what scraps of cash she has. He probably has 13 other people that he's doing this to. And she refuses to admit that this relationship is over. It is so disgusting. And I can't believe that this child is in the middle of this. I think that's the part that frustrates me the most. This little girl is 6 years old. She has a fictitious daddy that's in Morocco that's supposed to be like daddy, that Nicole has told her daughter to call him, even though they've only met a couple times. And even though she's admitted that he's not really daddy-like to her, her parents and her siblings have been very you should never have let her call him daddy. This is very confusing. And then she admits, yeah, I've done this in the past where I've had her call people daddy, and then it just doesn't work out. Like, what a freaking message you tell to your daughter. You're not even married, and you're having her call him daddy. You don't even know if this marriage is going to happen, and you're having him call her daddy. And then when you want attention or you want, you want something from him, she uses her daughter and is like, Daddy, I miss you, as this way to play to her heartstrings. She's clearly very unwell, and she's a pathological liar. She lies to her mother about everything, and all her mother is trying to do is make sure that this woman doesn't screw over her daughter. And then obviously the mother, Nicole's mother, is also concerned about Nicole taking May to Morocco, uprooting her entire life, putting her in a foreign country where she doesn't know the language, in a religion that she's not a part of. And then, how does this woman even have custody of this child at this point? That is what I do not understand. I don't know. And there's, yes, Marilyn May, I do think there might be something going on with her, I don't know. I can't speculate about what's going on with her, but she definitely seems very naive. She definitely seems like she might not, I don't know. I don't know whether or not she has a disability or not. She's very immature. Like when the two of them fight, she constantly says things like, "It's not fair. You can't treat me like that. It's not fair." She even like pushed him, got violent with him. I mean, this chick is, I don't know. She's a hot mess, and I don't know why they are not, like why she just doesn't admit that they're not together. Azan, here, is this the evidence you guys need? He doesn't even follow her on Instagram. Come on. How obvious could this be? Nicole, I can tell you her age. I think she's like she was like really young when she started the show. She was like 21 or 22, and they've been on for a couple years now, so she's got to be close to 25. She is. She was born in 1993, so what, 26? November, 25, because she'll be 26 in November, it says. And damn it, she's a freaking Scorpio. Girls, Scorpios are supposed to be smarter than this. They are supposed to be smarter than this. I don't understand this. This is ridiculous. And her previous boyfriend that she had, like, I don't think that May's dad is even involved. This is just a mess. And this poor family is just trying to, like, protect May, and they just can't. But she doesn't live on her own. She lives with her mother, so thank God for that. But I don't think Nicole even understands what it's like to be a mother, because this is not how mothers act. So, I don't know why anyone's not checking on the baby. I don't know why, Brittany. Trust me. These are so many questions I have as a mother. Like, this is so ridiculous to me. And, you know, she's all over Instagram pretending like they're still together, or on Twitter acting like they're still together. And he's not following her. They haven't seen each other in almost a year. This relationship is over. She buys, imagine how expensive it is to get a flight to Morocco for her and her daughter. And the day before she's supposed to go, he tells her not to come. And then she says, no, it was just a family emergency. Like, no. And yes, I would agree that TLC is horrible about this kind of stuff. They absolutely exploit people that have these type of issues. They definitely exploit these type of relationships, and, you know, it's honest to God why I stopped watching 90 Day Fiancé for such a long time, was I felt like it was so exploitative. And I also felt like it was not a really true depiction of what happens in international marriages, because I have a lot of friends that have married people from abroad, or I have a cousin actually that married someone from Spain and lives in Spain. So I've seen firsthand, like, the difficulty of navigating an international relationship, but I've also seen that most of the time these relationships are not fake. They're not faked, but yet this show seems to really, like, prey on these fake relationships to sort of perpetuate the stereotype that the only people that want to come to the United States are scamming Americans to get here. And I don't like that. I do not like that stereotype being perpetuated. I think it's racist. I think it's really yuck. I mean, sure, there is absolutely some issues in Morocco and other countries within the Middle East of these types of scams happening, but that doesn't mean it happens everywhere. There's another relationship that we'll talk about in the coming days, or later today probably, Jay and Ashley, where he's a 20-year-old Jamaican man. Jamaica is another country that has known for running scams. So it's like, why are they seeking out people that have people coming from scam countries? Why not actually find couples that have real relationships that are true, that are awesome. And then they have this old and then this show also perpetuates the idea that the 90-day K1 visa is used as a way for people to get to know each other, and that's not true at all. Usually people that have gone through the 90-day process to get the K1 visa, meaning once they get the K1 in the United States, the couple has 90 days in that time to get married in order to get the change of status secured for the new spouse so that they can become a resident. And 90-day fiance acts as though that 90 days is used as a way to get to know whether or not the relationship's going to work. And that's not how that works. Typically, if you're going to go through the process of the 90-day fiance visa, you are getting married. It's not like, oh, we're just going to get to know each other. You already know each other if you're getting to this part. So it's actually super it's actually super frustrating. So yeah, Jay is a piece of crap, and but I'm not actually a fan of Ashley. I think Ashley is not helpful either. So that's the scoop on Nicole and Azan. I will keep you posted, but I love following new reality stars. So if you guys have suggestions about who you want my take on, let me know in comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think Nicole and Azan are together? And I want to do something new. So the person who comments first on this video will get a shout out in the next video. All right, you guys, I'll be back later today and we'll talk about Jay and Ashley. Bye, guys.